What's up, guys? Austin here, aka the Crypto Siphon, coming at you with another video. It's Friday. I'm very happy it's Friday. I hope you guys are too. The market has been very interesting, to say the least. I want to talk about what my thoughts are, what my opinion is of the market, and where I think we're going, or should I say where I think we're headed into the weekend and possibly onto next week. I wanted to talk about some of the altcoin markets. I want to look at some coins that could be, a potential swing trade opportunities for us. I want to look at some news for Facebook, YouTube, and there's also some news in Europe about a company looking into ETFs, which I thought was pretty cool. Anyways, if you guys want to hear more, stay tuned.
They'll understand you soon, it won't be long. Keep on, keep running.
What's up, guys? Let's take a look at the market. I want to look at Bitcoin and show you what's been going on this week. The market's been trending upwards, which is awesome. I'm sure you guys are pretty happy about that. I know I'm pretty happy about that. There's some good potential swing trade positions because of that. However, there are some still things that we need to look out for. I do think that it's possible we could start seeing a little bit of a pullback. And I wanted to show you guys what I was talking about. I don't know if you guys are following me on my Twitter, but if you're not, I definitely encourage you to do so. I keep regular updates on my Twitter about what's going on in real time with the market and just different things that I notice that could be good potential trades for you guys. Or there's times where I've seen things and I'm like, this looks like we may want to get out. Maybe you want to close some of your positions. So if you guys aren't following me on Twitter, I definitely encourage you to follow my Twitter and also like and subscribe if you like the video. Another thing is, guys, this isn't financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. This is literally just for entertainment purposes, and this is purely my opinion. Now, let's look at what's going on with Bitcoin. If you guys have looked at my last video and also on my Twitter, I talked about this potential ascending triangle we might be in, maybe even like a head and shoulders pattern. I'm still not fully decided what the market, or I'm not fully decided what I think the market's going to do just yet. We're in a bit of a limbo zone here, but so far, honestly, guys, it's been looking pretty good. I think that that the market has been on a decent uptrend, and I do think that more than likely we're probably going to continue that uptrend. Now, if you looked at my old video on my Twitter, I did notice that we are in something like a rising wedge pattern, which typically is bearish. That's typically a bearish pattern, guys. Most of the time when you're in this kind of pattern, you will fall out. The price will go to the downside, and you will see a decent pullback. Now, because we've had such bullish momentum, I think that even if we do see a pullback and this rising wedge is valid, we may not see that large of a sell-off. I really think that we probably will end up holding above 6,200. I really don't think. I mean, look, guys, anything's possible. You should never rule anything out. That's the first thing I should say. I mean, you should always have, like I said before my last video, I encourage everyone to have a game plan. Have a plan for what you plan to do if the market does this or that. If the market goes up and we're heading towards whatever, 10,000 or whatever, have a plan, of course. If the market's going down and it looks like we're really in a massive capitulation sell-off, you guys need to have a plan for that. Regardless, I know I talked before about this rising wedge, and originally I kind of saw it like this. I'm not fully convinced if that's the way the wedge is, if we are in this wedge pattern. I still think that we have a bit of a sell-off to do. I've noticed a lot of wicks. If you guys haven't noticed here, there's a lot of wicks to the upside. This is our clear resistance zone, guys. This is definitely the zone where we're going to see a lot of resistance there. That's going to be a big zone that we need, a big hurdle that we need to get over, guys. And for now, we just haven't done that yet. But I did notice a lot of wicks, which is telling me that potentially we might see a little bit of a pullback, a bit of a downtrend. Now, that's not the only thing that I see. If you guys take a look, and if you watch my last video, I am very big on getting the big picture, guys. it's not about seeing one thing. Oh, I see a rising wedge. You know, that must mean the price is going to go down. Guys, that's not necessarily true. You can't just see one thing and take it as it is. You need to look at the clues, guys. You need to look at what is the picture that this market is trying to paint for us. So the way I see this now, look, I'm not claiming that I'm 100% right here, guys. Obviously, I could be wrong and that the market could continue upwards. Absolutely. But I did notice I was in a swing trade position. I did mention that before. On Bitcoin, I took a swing trade position down here when we were in the 5800s because of some bullish divergence that I noticed, which you can clearly see right here and also here in the MACD. But if you guys want to learn more about that, look at my last video. I went into pretty good detail the reason why I took that trade, and that could be a really good learning opportunity for you guys. I'm not just going off simply just one or two indicators, guys. I'm taking a lot of little clues that lead me to making a trade, and so far this trade has been really profitable for me. I did close a portion of my position, I will say that, because as we trended upwards, the RSI got pretty high. And this is the 4-hour chart, guys, just letting you know. The RSI trended pretty high in the 4-hour chart. We hit about 72. If you noticed, we hit about 72-ish on the RSI. However, the price continued upward. And what do you guys notice right up here? Even though the price is going upward, the RSI is going down. Same thing. We keep going up, right? Or actually, we trended down a little bit more, but there's a huge difference between here and here, right? This we're talking about at the height of this was 60, what is that? 66.80, let's just say. And at the height of this price here, we're just below 6,800, 67.80. So about $100 difference or so. And there is this much difference. There is 72 on the RSI here, and we're at the 6,600 mark, and then we're at 66 here. So as the price is moving up, the RSI is trending downwards. That's one big sign for me, guys. I am a huge fan of the RSI. Now, I use multiple indicators. I look at price action, but I also looked at the MACD, guys. As we look at the MACD, as we're going over here, do you guys notice this? This is what I call a bearish divergence. Okay, so we have bearish divergence on the RSI. We had bearish divergence on the MACD. And also we have a decent rejection here, guys. We have multiple rejections here. Okay, we had a bit of a sell-off into the EMAs. And we tried to make another comeback here. Okay, and we rallied up. And we didn't have to seem to push through that 6,800 resistance, just like we see over here, guys. We just didn't have it. So because of these factors, I saw that and I said, you know what? Maybe I want to take some of my profit, which is what I suggest. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor, but whenever you guys see, I want you guys to take this to heart. Technical analysis takes a lot of work, okay? It's not something you can learn in one day. It's not something you learn in 1 week. However, if you teach yourself some basics, okay, and don't just rely on me, guys. Don't rely on me. Don't rely on these other YouTubers and guys on Twitter and TradingView to tell you or to make your trading, for them to make or break what you're going to do for trading. Okay, guys, you need to make your own decisions. You need to learn what it takes to open and close a trade, where to open and where to close a trade, guys. And this is a perfect opportunity to learn this. Right here, we see the RSI is down ticking, and we got a lower high on the RSI, okay? And we got a higher high on the price. Same thing here. We got a lower high on the MACD, and if you guys notice right here, I'll put a little bit of a circle there. What do we see? It looks, even if you didn't catch, guys, this cross right here, right? Even if you didn't catch that, but you see this right here, you could have just right here, you could have been able to tell that, you know what, that looks like it's going to cross. You already would have seen this, and you would have already seen this right here. That would have been 2 signs of bearish divergence, okay? But typically you want to go off the second major peak, just to let you know. You don't want to start closing your positions or taking a short trade or whatever the heck you're going to do until you see the second large peak. And we did, which was here, okay? And here, right there, right on this candle, if we line that up, what do we see? That is where We've already crossed on the MACD. We've already trended down on the MACD pretty significantly, and the RSI made a significant lower high. So to me, based on those 3 factors or 4 factors, including the rising wedge that we're in, I took this opportunity to take some profit. That way I can take my profits, guys. I can secure that if the market does reverse heavily and my stop loss gets triggered, I'm not going to take a loss. I'm still going to come out on top. I mean, literally, the market could tank all the way down to $1,000, guys, and I would still be in profit. That is how you want to trade. That is how you want to plan your trades, guys. Okay? So, even though we're in this rising wedge, guys, I don't think that this is going to mean that we're going to trend all the way down back to $6,000. Honestly, I noticed this like a head and shoulders pattern here, almost, it looks like we're in this this ascending triangle. And this is if this is correct, I'm not saying it's going to be 100%. If this is correct, guys, this is a very bullish pattern. Okay? I'm saying this because typically, and let's say the ascending wedge, right? In the ascending triangle, the price will try and do the opposite of what I talked about in my first video, okay? Remember when I talked about price hitting up against, it's almost like you're hitting against the door and the door's weakening over time? Same difference here, guys. Same thing. It's just the opposite. This is to the upside now. So the price has tried to rise above 6,800 multiple times, and we've been rejected. And now the price is going at an angle upwards, right? So what I'm expecting, if things play out correctly, is to have, and look, guys, anyways, I'll get to it later, but look, this could be right here. The price could completely just blast through 6,800 from here, but I'm expecting a bit of a drop. However, my point is that we are making a push upward every time. We're making higher lows. So as the price is getting higher lows, it's basically as if we're getting squeezed into this triangle right here. And there's pressure building up, okay? There's momentum that's building up in this pattern. And if we make a breakout with that pattern, then typically we'll see a very, say, large or decently large run up after this. So whether this is an ascending triangle or this is, a head and shoulders pattern, those both are very bullish patterns and something you guys want to take note of. So I think in the short term right now, we might see a drop towards something like 6,300, 6,350, 6,250, something around there. But we'll probably hold, if I were to take a guess, we'll probably hold above 6,200 if we still have decent bullish momentum. If that's the case, we drop down to 6,200, whatever the case may be. We keep our bullish momentum, keep our decent price action, and we rise in this pattern. And look, guys, this pattern could be here. This pattern could be here, something like this. Okay, regardless of the fact, it's still going to be an ascending triangle, and that's still going to be bullish for us. Unless we literally just, laser beam straight down like that, that's going to obviously invalidate the pattern, okay? But if we can stick inside this pattern, very bullish, in my opinion. So I'm looking for more upside action. And what I'm doing right now is I'm looking for another opportunity to take a swing trade. So I'm a big fan of Fibonacci, guys. I use Fibonacci in almost every single one of my trades. And that's where I typically get my targets for where I'm going to trade. I want to show you guys something. Now, originally when we had this downtrend, actually, let me back up a little bit here. Let me show you guys the power of the Fibonacci. Now, for this particular swing that we're in, right, from the low that we've been in at 57, whatever it is, 57.50, to the next high that we get, I'm targeting the 50% retracement mark. Okay, and the reason why I say that is because if you look at the way that the market moves, typically the 50% mark is where the market will want to retrace to. Sometimes we go a little bit higher to the 61.8 mark, which some people will call the golden ratio, 61.5 or so. But 50% mark is a very, very good area typically to aim for when you're taking a trade. And I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. If we look at the daily time frame here, right? I talked about this last time when we were in this pattern, this descending triangle, right? Or it's falling wedge, should I say? It's a falling wedge pattern, and we broke out. I remember I caught this trade and I was very happy about that. If you notice, though, where did we retrace to? We take this, right, from right about the high. If you were targeting the 50% retrace mark, in this instance, okay, we retrace right to about the 61.8 mark, right around the golden ratio. But if you were to target the 50, see what I usually typically do, right, is I will take my tool and I will tell myself my target is anywhere from the 50% mark to the 61.8. If you would have taken this swing trade, you would have noticed the bullish divergence that we had here. We broke this RSI resistance level, right? And let's say you just took a swing trade right here. Boom, right there. Right about, even right here. You're probably more than likely you're not going to catch direct bottom. But let's say you took a swing trade right there and you put a stop loss, 2 or 3% below. And you targeted either anywhere between the 50 and the 61.8%. You would have made 20% right there. 20% on your money, okay? Just from the Fibonacci. Just from you seeing that the market has reversed, we've come out of the downtrend, and we're having a relief rally, and you can target the 50%. If you would have targeted just the 50% mark, you would have made 16%, okay? You would have targeted the 61.8, you would have made roughly 24 to 25%. And if you went to the golden ratio, you would have looked at the 26% mark. But you don't have to get that complicated. If you literally just stuck to anywhere between 50 to 61.8 retrace mark, you guys would have done very well. Now let's look at the last one. I'm going to look at another example here. And the reason why I'm a big fan of this. Okay. So we had this steep drop off here, right? Right when when everybody was saying that we're going to the moon, we're going straight to 30,000, yada yada yada, right? I want you guys to notice this. Where did we retrace to? Right here. Let me make sure my lines are correct. Yes, they are. Okay. Right here, we retraced to the 50% mark right there. That was the peak right there. 11,780 here and 11,722. So if your target would have been the 50% retrace mark, you got in somewhere down here, you guys would have made a great swing trade. Okay? And just like I mentioned before, you come up here, guys, okay? Now this is the daily chart. If you were to take a lower time frame, now I know you're looking at this in the daily chart, and this is where things get a little confusing. Okay, if you were to look at a lower time frame, and you took this swing trade, okay, we got this first peak here, right? This first peak here. Actually, let's take this. This is an even better example. Look at this peak here. 77 on the RSI. And the price is at 11,240 or 50. We went higher, up to 11,780. Okay. Almost roughly a $500 difference in price. And look at the RSI now. Look how much lower the RSI is. Look at the bearish divergence on that RSI. You see that? Bearish divergence there. You guys could have literally almost nailed the top in that instance. And if you add in your MACD on top of that, this is the things that you guys need to pay attention to. Pay attention to this stuff here. This is literally what most people are doing to get in and out at the right time. We had a cross right there. You guys would have noticed this cross coming. Look right here. Right here. You guys would have noticed this cross coming in the 11,400 area. You would have been able to anticipate that cross. Okay. We have the actual official cross right up here. Right there was the price drop down. But if we would have looked at the histogram, you would have noticed that we're getting a downtick on the histogram. So you put the price action together, you get your Fibonacci ratio together, you get your RSI target together, or your bearish divergence on the RSI, whether it's bearish or bullish, okay? You guys can make some halfway decent trades and make some pretty darn good profit. Okay, so I know I got a little bit of a little sidetrack there. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is trading doesn't necessarily have to be the most difficult thing in the world. You don't have to blind trade. You don't have to FOMO into anything. You don't have to see something pumping up 30% or 50% and decide that you're going to get in now and not know where the hell the target is. Okay, you guys need to use some of these tools to your advantage to know when you need to get in and out of a trade. Okay, but for now, guys, to go back to where I think Bitcoin's going, apologize for getting a little sidetracked there. I think we're personally going to be heading up to the 50% retrace mark. Okay, that was the whole point. I was talking about Fibonacci in the first place. I think we're going to try and make a rally towards 50%, and the 50% retrace mark right here would be roughly somewhere around 7,800. So I would target, because I believe that we're more than likely in this falling wedge pattern, which is technically a bullish pattern for now, guys. Until we invalidate that, you know, I'll look as the market changes. I'll reevaluate. I go along with the market, guys. I don't have a specific bullish or bearish bias. I'm completely neutral, and I just take whatever I'm given. So if I were to target somewhere in here, guys, the 50% mark would be 7,800. 38% mark would be 7,300. So somewhere in here, because that's the top of our falling wedge, I'd probably be targeting somewhere between 7,800 and 7,300. Okay, if I was taking a swing trade position on Bitcoin, which I am. Okay, so that's my look. That's my outlook on Bitcoin right now. I still think we have some upward action to go. I don't think we're gonna be dropping down, you know, straight to hell. I think that we have some room to go up, guys. Okay, let's take a look at some altcoins. Let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum is pretty good looking. Ethereum's been doing pretty well recently. This obviously, once again, we were in a decent falling wedge. We followed in it pretty well, and we had a nice little breakout. And so far, we've broken out of this price. We've seen some support on the EMAs. I believe this is the 8 and the 13 EMA, 13-day EMA, 8-day EMA. If you know what EMA is, it's exponential moving average. It's a moving average of the price over a certain period of days. And if we continue to trend upward, guys, once again, if you're looking for a target, I'd be targeting the 50% retrace mark, somewhere around 600, anywhere between $560 to $620 is what I would be targeting. So let's just, if you want to be real safe, $550 to $600, guys, is what my target would be. But I still think that we have room to move up on Ethereum. I think the market has room to move up. Now, if we get some bearish signals, I'll definitely post that on my Twitter, guys, and I'll let you know. For now, I see that we have room to move up. Yes, temporarily, for the short term, we might make a decent retracement, just like I have. You know, experimenting with, this is just experimental right now with Elliott waves, guys. We, you know, might be in a relief rally, which could be an ABC correction. And right now we could be on the B wave. So I think we've made a decent pullback. We might see a little bit further pullback towards maybe $450 or so. Maybe a little lower, maybe even $445, something like that. However, I do think we're going to trend upwards, you know, above $550, just to let you know. That is my sentiment at the moment. One of the coins I wanted to look at, which I thought was kind of interesting, that it's in such a massive downtrend, is IOTA. I don't know what is going on. I have not been keeping up with the news with IOTA. I should probably look if there's any crazy FUD going on, which there probably is, or usually is. But man, this thing has just been on a serious downtrend, and it hasn't stopped. You know, I thought that because Bitcoin rallied and you know, Ethereum that we'd see a decent relief rally, which I guess you can kind of say we did. We went up from 90 cents or so, 89 cents, all the way up to $1.25, which is pretty good. But it, to me, looks like we're in, yet again, another falling wedge, which is actually lining up pretty perfectly, if you ask me. This was our upward impulse move, impulsive wave, which we had 5 waves in there, and then we had ABC correction downward, and I'm looking at, a 5 waves down. Look, guys, I'm honestly experimenting with Elliott waves, but recently I've been making a lot of my trades with Elliott waves, and it's been extremely helpful. And I actually trying to master the Elliott wave at the moment. But just from a pure price action pattern analysis, guys, I think that more than likely we probably are going to see a continuation of this downtrend on IOTA. And I'm looking, if you're looking to get in, and if the market continues to trend upward still, guys, we may see a decent reversal on IOTA, but I wouldn't be looking to get in on IOTA until we get somewhere in the low 80s, 80 cent, somewhere 82 cents, 81 cents, 80 cents, 83, something like that, even 85 cents, whatever the case may be. I'm looking that we might see some downward action towards there. We just haven't been able to penetrate this downtrend, guys. This downtrend line right here. Every time we hit it, we just bounce right off and we go straight down. And I've been noticing this for quite some time. And it just, I think that it could be near its end if the market continues upwards. We might see this near its end, but we might get a 5th wave down towards anywhere between 70 to 85 cents, if I were to take a guess. And that would coincide pretty well with the 78.6 mark. So that would be roughly around 83 cents or so. And this market has been utilizing the 78.6 mark pretty regularly, guys. So I think that could be a decent target to get in around there. So something around, in the mid 80 cents to low 80 cents area. That's IOTA. Man, Ethereum, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but Ethereum Classic has been killing it recently. I mean, it's been really good. Now, I'm assuming it's because everyone anticipates that they're getting on Coinbase, because Coinbase released that they're going to be adding them to Coinbase, which is very bullish. I think we could see some really good price action on Ethereum Classic, and we have been. I took a swing trade on Ethereum Classic, and I got in on Ethereum Classic at about $13 or so. And I got in because I saw just a continuation of higher lows, RSI, MACD, all those things that I continuously talk about, guys. I sound like a broken record. Okay, so we hit my target for now. I have closed some of my position. Just to let you know, I was targeting from $13 to $18. Once again, if you guys notice, I'm going to say this 100 times. I really enjoy, I have a lot of success with going for the 50% retrace mark. The market typically wants to go towards the 50% retrace mark. However, in this case, Ethereum Classic seems to be following very closely to Bitcoin. I've noticed that. A lot of the altcoins move a little independent. Have different price action than Bitcoin, even though everything is trading against Bitcoin. But Ethereum Classic, ever since we've had that news about Coinbase listing coming up sometime soon, it's been basically sticking exactly almost to Bitcoin, which I find kind of interesting. But we're in like a rising wedge, which is what I've seen. And we hit the 50% retrace mark. So I took my profit on this. I sold, a decent portion of my swing trade. I'm looking to get in at a better price point. And if I were to get in, I'm looking to get in probably somewhere around $16 or so, anywhere between $16 and $17. Maybe $17 since this has so much bullish momentum. But however, I am looking to see what's going to happen with this, because I really do think that if the market continues to uptrend with Ethereum Classic, we could see a very large rise in the price here. Especially, obviously, guys, if and when this gets added, or should I say just when this gets added to Coinbase, we will probably see a very large pump on Ethereum Classic. So you guys, honestly, if any out of any coin right now that you're looking to get into, I think you should definitely keep your eyes peeled for Ethereum Classic. It's a very, very good opportunity for you. I think there's a lot of opportunity to make some good gains with this coin. Same pattern that I've seen, possibly ascending triangle, maybe a head and shoulders pattern we're possibly looking at here. And those are both very bullish patterns. I'm looking once again for it to pull back somewhere around the 38% mark from the low that it made here, and then from the high it's currently made here. But once we pass, if we can pass, get above, I'm gonna say, if we can get above roughly $19, guys, somewhere towards the 61.8 retrace mark, I think that it's going to be a pretty quick trip up to about $25. So once again, just keep your eyes peeled on Ethereum Classic. It is a very good opportunity if the market continues to go up. Neo, man, there has been so much bad talk about Neo when we were in the downtrend. People were fudding Neo so much. Everyone was saying, just I don't know. I don't even know why. I think Neo's a great project. I don't know why people just love to talk so much FUD about the coin, but I really think that Neo is a good project, and even now it's a great trading opportunity. I'm gonna zoom. This is the daily chart, and this is pretty much a rough target that I was looking at for Neo. If we continue to uptrend, I'm looking at somewhere between $50 and $60, guys. So just to give you a heads up. But if we look at the 4-hour chart, we were in a falling wedge, just like most of the coins we've been seeing. It's played out quite nicely. We got a bit of an extended fifth wave down here. And then we made a decent little uptrend. Actually, a pretty damn good uptrend. And I saw this, and I saw this look like it was 5 waves going up. And once I saw this here, this price that just, I mean, it just completely laser beamed up, which was crazy. If you look at this, even on the minute chart, you even zoom into the minute chart, guys, and this thing still looks like that. This is like, this must have happened within, you know, a very, very short period of time. But anyways, I was looking at this for a trade, but as soon as I started seeing the divergence on the RSI, guys, I was looking to get a short trade on Neo. I think it was a very good short trade. Just like I talked about before, we had the RSI. It peaked at about 81 or so, and that was all the way back at $39. And then even when we went all the way up to $48, okay, and if you even take that out of the equation, forget $48. We went all the way to $43.50, and we still couldn't get past the RSI. In fact, we had a bearish divergence on the RSI. So for me, I was instantly looking for a short trade on this. I thought it was a great opportunity to take a short trade. I think we're in a downward ABC correction pattern. Currently, we're still in it. And if I were to take a guess, you know, my target for this current pattern, I mean, even if you were to just take it from this ridiculous high that I don't particularly want to count, to be honest with you, you'd be looking at, excuse me, sorry guys. I don't even want to take it from there, but I just want to show you just for the hell of it. You would be looking at a pullback to, if you want to count that, the 61.8 mark, which would be about $35. If you're not counting that ridiculous spike, you're looking at a pullback to the 50% mark, somewhere around there. You know, we have a lot of support in this region here. If you take a look, this is obviously a lot of support here. And you can see it right there. We zoom in. I know this is confusing. You guys see all these things on here. This is just my trading target. We're poking this right now. We're literally just touching it, and we're bouncing off of it. So that could be, we could see the end of the correction there. You know, we might have just seen the correction go to about here, which is fine with me, because there is a lot of resistance here, a lot of support there, should I say, just from looking at all this right there. So this could be the end of that move, guys. If it's not the end of that move, then we'd be looking at something like this, something around here from this support area, something between 35 to yeah, $34 to $35, something like that, maybe even $33. But for now, that's pretty much the target I'm looking for. I think NEO is a great swing trade opportunity. I think it could be really good for us. However, I do think it might have a little bit more downward action. So I'm going to keep my eye on it. I would advise you guys to do the same, but I think it's a good opportunity to get in on NEO. But let's look at some news. Facebook. I don't know if you guys heard about this. I know some other people have talked about it. Facebook has looking for a new director, or has a new director of engineering for blockchain. I know you guys heard about Facebook actually recently reinstated ads on Facebook. I know they banned them for a while, and just coincidentally, just happens to be perfect timing when the market starts trending upwards. They, just lifted their ban off of Facebook. I find that to be very coincidental, but regardless, I'm not trying to spread anything, but I just find it to be humorous. But they're trying to get more into the blockchain space. They have a social media, or their social media giant says that appointed one of its senior engineers, Evan Chang, as its first director of engineering blockchain. The new position was first reported by TechCrunch and confirmed by Facebook on Thursday. So I believe that's yesterday, right? So this guy, Evan Chang, is apparently a crypto. He's very heavily involved in crypto. He says that basically his night job right here, he says his night job is blockchain and crypto, and by day he's a programmer. So it looks like Facebook is really trying to get in with the blockchain technology, which is good. I love seeing adoption from large companies that is only typically bullish for the crypto market, and I hope we see a lot more of that. This one I found really kind of humorous. Everybody knows BitConnect, man. BitConnect. Oh, God. I remember when everyone was talking about BitConnect, I was like, I don't even know how. Anyways, people are getting involved in this. It just seemed like a scam from the beginning. But YouTube, this was very surprising. YouTube is being put or labeled as a defendant in the class action lawsuit against BitConnect. Now, I know you guys remember Trayvon Martin, Crypto Nick.
I think what everyone wants to know now is, what are you going to do with all this money?
I'm going to reinvest my money into the community.
Oh, that's a very nice gesture. What were you... Okay.
These guys were the ones that were promoting BitConnect for a long time, and they even had some numbers on here. They said that they made more than 70,000 hours of unedited content, which generated 58 million views. That is a lot of revenue if you were to take that from YouTube's standpoint, which is the reason why they're being a defendant on this trial, because it's not that they're blaming them for what happened. It's just that if you read the article, it says that YouTube pretty much should have known better, and they should have had a better hold on what kind of videos that these guys were putting up, and that this was more than likely a scam or a Ponzi scheme, and that YouTube should have basically been more on top of that. So they're trying to go after them for not being more harsh with who they allow or what they allow on their channel or on YouTube. So I found that to be pretty interesting. You guys might want to read through that. I thought it was pretty cool that that we're getting some more updated news on this, because it kind of just seemed to disappear for a while. I always like hearing about this. Man, I feel really bad for a lot of people who were duped by that, man. It's I can't wait for, I hate to say it, but I know some people are against this, but I really think regulation can't come fast enough, because this kind of stuff has got to end, man. I really don't want to see this continue going on. It sucks, man, to get into something that you really think is going to be a good opportunity for you, and it just ends up being a scam. Next in the news, I thought this was really great. This could be potentially very bullish. This is, the start of something that could be a leg in, or a foot in, should I say, to us getting ETFs. So the EU's biggest ETF firm expands into crypto products. It says Europe's largest trader of exchange-traded funds, ETFs, is now entering into the crypto world. Amsterdam-based speed trader Flow Traders NVCO and CEO Dennis Dijkstra told Bloomberg Thursday that his firm was expanding its trading products to exchange-traded notes, ETNs, based on Bitcoin and Ether. Okay, so if you guys don't know what an ETN is, an exchange-traded note is basically a structured product that is a senior debt note. It's not a physical, with ETFs, when you buy into an ETF, guys, that is when they actually have to physically own part of that commodity. So if there was a Bitcoin ETF, that would mean that they would have to have the private keys to all the Bitcoins that they're storing and people are buying from the ETFs. With an ETN, it doesn't work like that. You don't actually have to have that. So no, this is not an ETF, but the way I see that is, since these guys are such a leader in ETFs in the EU, that this is just a foot in for us to get just one step a little closer to getting an ETF, guys, because I really do think that what's going to make the crypto market see just a monster bull ride in the future is going to be getting an ETF, guys. I really think that is what's going to be the catalyst that's going to cause the next bull run. So I'm always looking for news like this. I'm always trying to find out what's going on in the space, what's, any progress can be made with ETFs, because that could really be a great opportunity for everybody. And when it happens, man, I'm telling you, hold on, guys, because that's going to be a serious rocket ship. Anyways, that's all I got for you guys for now. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe if you guys want to hear more from my channel. I know I'm a new channel, and trying to come out with more content as much as I can. I'm going to try and update you guys. Follow my Twitter if you guys want to get real-time updates on the market and what's going on. I post a lot of updates on my Twitter and even some swing trades that I'm taking. And I'll just a couple days ago, guys, I was even saying, hey, maybe we should look out, because it looks like we might be taking a bit of a down trip on Bitcoin, and it did happen. In fact, I had quite a few trades or posts that I had that ended up. It's kind of funny. I would post a trade or a chart on there within an hour. It would be like it would start to drop or rise, which is kind of funny. But anyways, if you guys want to follow me and get regular updates, follow my Twitter, subscribe, like the video, and till next time, guys. Hopefully I see you in the next one. Take care.